What's up, guys? Aaron here. So, for the last few months, Dan Cates has been training me on how to become a poker player, going from zero to hero. And man, it's been an up and down journey. One of my favorite parts about what we do together is his live feedback during game. He doesn't actually tell me what to do during the play time when I'm playing online, but he gives me real time feedback right after play. We break it down. Come check out this video that we recently did and see the wild, crazy hands I'm playing out here in Texas, because you're probably doing some of the same mistakes and leaks that I've got. And you can probably learn something too. So check out the video and I'll see you soon.
You have the best hand. He's not going to fold anything. If he has a king, he's not folding. Well, how do you love it now? And fold the king at offsuit on the cutoff. What the fuck? It's not in the charts. I don't know where you're getting these charts in Texas. Oh my god, dude. When you do 4-bet, you need to bet a small size on ace high boards because they either have...
These are the pros on ACR?
This is probably one of the toughest games you could find for 50 cent a dollar. This is like playing 10, 20 or at least.
Yeah. All right, I got a gut shot. He's making it really cheap to see the river, so.
Yeah, it's a weird bet by him. I guess you can call. What are you doing? Dude.
He doesn't have anything.
You have the best hand. You don't need a bet. Dude.
Dun, 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 dun. Why would you not bet? Why would you not bet there?
You have the best hand. He's not going to fold anything. If he has a king, he's not folding. What does he have?
Ace Jack.
Oh my god.
I like that call.
Oh man, dude. Dude. Fold. I mean, I don't think you can call here with king 4 suited.
I'm first act on it. There's no one's acted behind me. It's
yes.
Blinds.
Is that a straddle?
No, he's on the blind.
No, he raised.
Check.
Don't fold your ace 5 suited. Could do that. Yeah, man, your queen 9 off is bet is very thin. He checks lots of kings there. Your hand's not automatically good in that spot. Man, god damn. Check the turn. Like, it's actually not that bad, I guess, to bet the turn with king 4. You could bet small. That's cute. It makes not a whole lot of difference, and he actually missed a bet on the ace 5. That's okay. I guess. I don't know if the machine probably wouldn't really do that too much, but now you're in a situation. You could maybe even lead just because now he's really polar. But I mean, check's fine. That's weird. What's going on now?
He must be betting on the 9. I'm just gonna fold.
That's okay. It's actually kind of an infrequent card for him to bet. It's weird that he bets so big and so much. Yeah, man, you should check out those pre-flop charts. Take a look. Maybe they're missing. They shouldn't. There's a reason why you're doing some crazy stuff, because
9 deuce. 3x open.
Huh?
I said 9 deuce open. I'm just kidding.
All right, good. You didn't open that one.
Let me pull up my pre-flop chart. I don't need it open while we're playing, but
This already a bunch of situations. Yeah, in the one spot that the hand with the 8 when you had queen 9 is kind of funny, because if he has a king, he's gonna check. I guess there's a good chance he checks, and when you bet, like you don't really have the best hand that much, or I would think you're betting very thin. Let's put it like that. He can theoretically check raise you, and he could theoretically have a lot of kings.
oh, we're going all in. Ace king suited.
Yeah.
All right.
Unless you want to fold it.
Oh, same hand.
No, geez.
Oh, don't get there with the flush.
No.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Nice.
Well,
pretty safe.
Wrong red suit. Not the blue suit.
Chop chop.
I think you're playing with a bunch of bad regs or something. Well, I don't know if they're bad or not, if I'm honest.
Maybe I'm just really good, Dan. I'm bringing some Texas flair into the tightness of online play.
I guess it's the Queen Nine. I mean, when you think about the Queen Nine, what does he have there? It does look like you have the best hand a lot.
Yeah, I knew, or I felt like he was floating an ace, and it just
What?
didn't. I just felt like he had an ace, and he wasn't connecting with the board. There's no ace on the board.
Well, that floating means he calls with an ace. That's what a float means. You're betting big with the ace nine. You should bet smaller on ace 5-4 because he has nothing a lot and you have an ace.
So smaller on that, like quarter.
Yeah, smaller.
Got it.
You gotta hit the sims for that one. Yeah, but if you hit the sims, you can see what's going on against the sizings. But basically, bet smaller because, wow, okay, an all in. That's interesting.
That's a fold.
It's a fold, really? You sure?
Yeah.
Just
No.
check the charts.
Well, not that deep. If he was like 30 blinds or something, I'd call it, but ace four offsuit, I'm not jamming all in on it.
It's not a call for 30, Ben. That's a power call. That's a Texan call.
Yeah.
It's a fold for um almost any stack size actually. With ace four, it's not a good calling hand. Yeah, I don't want to call an all in with ace four offsuit. You'd call like ace 10 or something for 30.
Maybe.
Stop making the same mistakes because nobody's watching your actual play. At Dojo Live, you're not sitting around learning useless theory. You're applying real practical techniques that work on the table, and I'll be there guiding you myself. Dojo Live takes place in Dallas, Texas, November 15th through the 17th. There's only 20 seats available. That's it.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say ace 10. Maybe. I'm folding a lot more aces these days. I can tell you that much.
All right, that's improvement. All right, good.
Especially if they're not suited. I think I've learned the hard way that if they're not suited and it's not a higher kicker, they're just dominated.
They showed you lots of better aces.
Uh-huh.
Well, sorry about that, I guess.
Yeah. I guess it's part of the game.
You can play them in Texas though.
You can play anything in Texas, man.
Yeah,
It's
anything goes in Texas.
crazy. Crazy the hands that get crushed at the Texas tables. Nobody folds, everybody calls. Everybody gets in, even if it's 25, you could raise it $25 on a 1-2 game and everyone wants in. You get 6 people to the flop.
Oh man. Oh man. It probably is okay to play ace X in that spot, to be honest. It's not really well, like okay being the operating word. It's like maybe you can get away with breaking even somehow.
The 1-2 game is like a punt, but 2-5 is actually plays pretty good. Um, but it's there's just different people at it, obviously. But the 1-2 game is just everyone wants to see the flop, and they'll pay up to $25 to get in.
Your real enemy in those ones is the rake. That's the ultimate enemy in the 1-2, it sounds like, because you have to beat the rake somehow if you're playing a bunch of shitty hands. That's actually the problem.
Interesting flop. I think my biggest leak is not getting out while I'm ahead and playing too long.
Well, if the games are soft, like you're just supposed to bet you should bet bigger with king six of hearts because if they have an ace, which is really really likely, they're not going to fold the turn anyway, but you might want to get them to fold the river. Now it's up to you what you're going to do.
Yeah, I could have king 10 if he's got the ace. Oh, I missed it.
You bet
Oh,
really big.
check, check.
Yeah, he's got an ace a lot there. Like,
Yeah.
because why does he have an ace a lot? Because he up on the cutoff. That's why. It's a prize. He's got an ace.
Yeah.
So basically, he's going to check a lot too. You got to bet big on the turn and bet big on the river to get him to fold, or call. He can hero call, but that would be a viable play. Here, your size is too small.
On 6-7, that size was too small.
Yeah, if you're three betting, your size is too small.
Hmm.
Well, your three bet's fine.
Check. So he's got. Two.
Okay. You got some something.
I don't want the flush to get there.
Well, that's actually a little bit misleading because the flush is either going to get there or it's not, right? And you have to think more in terms of what your overall range is and what he's supposed to have, because you could probably just get loads of folds there. You still want to get value.
If he's got a club.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a funny spot.
So a smaller bet would be better than trying to push him off. Because if he's got a club, he's not folding.
If he has a big club, he's not folding, but I don't know how that would be the case. If he has no, he could have a big club. It's a little weird because you made it so small pre-flop, so now he can have like ace 10 offsuit.
Yeah.
So he can have such hands, which he's not going to fold, and he can have like king jack or the king of clubs or something. You can do a few things. I just wouldn't overbet only because I think you're really just balanced when you do that, and you lose value from a lot of hands that are at very bad equity.
So 3-bet 10 blinds.
I think it's 11.5 or 10-ish.
Okay, we'll go 10.
I've seen bigger sizes from some machines, but it depends a little bit. I think if it's in those vicinities, it's fine. I don't think it matters a huge amount as long as he gets lots of folds. It doesn't matter that much, but you can just look it up in GTO Wizard.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, 6-7 suited. Well, what I'm thinking is, what are you really bluffing with that size? And what are you gonna do on the river if he calls you, and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that in those cases, you just want to bet normal, and you'd be surprised how many folds you get there anyway. It's pretty rare he has something that has a club in it, and he gets there. That's actually not that frequent of a situation, and that would have folded for that size. Like, you also have to think, if you build the pot, and the club gets there, that's worse. That's also a possibility, but usually people think in your direction, which is sometimes correct, but the opposite is also important to think about. The structure's so stupid. Your play with the threes is actually okay because usually people have ace king when they check back in a 3-bet pot. That's the big reason, or like ace jack. So it happens to be okay. I would not have done that. Why? Because you could get the same amount of value from those hands by just like checking and betting the river more accurately, and could use such a cute play. I would have folded pre-flop because it's yeah, maybe if you're deeper you can get away with it, or if there's antes or something, but I just think that the bad pocket pairs, it's more of a normal thing with the bad pocket pairs. You just like, they don't play well enough against 3-bets out of position if the 3-bet's too big. It's one of those things where your hand's just not good enough, basically.
So facing a 3-bet with low pocket pairs, like below 5s, 6s, just let it go.
I would say I would call it 6s personally, but I think the machine calls with like 5s plus a lot. Your Jack 8 play is actually okay. We're getting to the point where we need to start thinking about what our overall plan looks like when we're making these plays. So, yeah, meaning, how's the hand going to play out? How do we play our range against theirs? How do we get the most value against their bluffs? Like that kind of stuff. Whereas it looks like your bets are not really thinking about all of that. But that's the way a lot of the bets really are. They think in terms of the full picture, and then they make a play, or then they make a move. This ace jack is okay. It's not really standard. It's more like an aggressive play. It's a power play. I would bet and bluff with it. Actually, it's not very good at this point.
The ace jack.
Yeah. What are you gonna do now?
I'm gonna re-raise them
All right.
because
All right. We're in Texas now. Now we're in Texas.
his bet size is really small.
He could have a
And
lot of things, by the way.
he
He could have like
could,
pocket fives.
but
He
no,
doesn't know what's going on.
he opened,
could-
and he opened. I was
he's-
defending the button, right, or the blind, and so I called.
that play was actually okay.
Yeah, I'm
I
thinking my
don't know.
range. I'm thinking I had, a four. I could have had something like ace four.
You don't have a four, dude. You don't have a four. No. All right, that you couldn't have had a four. You could have had like aces. That's what you could have had.
Deuces. I don't know what to do here, but I'm
You can
going.
call. You can call.
I'm a flat call.
Flat
Ooh.
call.
That's
Boom.
kind of fun. I'm gonna check, and then this one.
The play is okay though. I don't know how much the machine actually does that. I don't think it does it with ace jack offsuit. But whatever. This is interesting. The pocket twos.
I got a
I would
straight.
just check. You
Oh.
should just check pocket twos. But if you were the big blind versus the button, this is what I was just talking about. You need to be thinking about your overall plan. Then you could take your play because the big blind has a lot more straights than say like the wow, okay. The big blind has a lot. I would have well that's whatever. I would have opened it, but it's not a big deal. The big blind
the
has
queen.
more straights than in that on such a board than does like early position, for example. And there's also pair X, so you can do it actually in that spot. So this is what I'm talking about. Like the range versus range is what you need to be thinking about soon with a lot of these sizings. You're getting quite some of the basics right. Don't make it $20. All right, sure. The basics are like looking, in the realm of okay. More advanced stuff is like, okay, range versus range. What's our strategy? Whereas it looks like you're making a lot of plays based off of what your hand is.
Okay.
Which can work, but if you want to meet some good players, you need to be thinking next level.
I want to build the pot a little bit.
Sometimes you need to take them to Texas and check raise the pot on 10-4-4.
Yeah.
Take him down south, see how they handle that.
I like it. It worked.
It did. Well, the plays like that are kind of good because unless he has a 4 or he decides to, he just calls enough with his 10x or whatever by the river, then you beat him. And it's hard for him to have the nuts there.
This is one of my favorite hands. I don't know why.
10-8 of clubs.
Yeah.
You lasso some you did the thing again.
Should have been 10, right?
10-ish is I think what it is. Or like 11. I think is what it is.
Oof. Woof.
Woof.
Woof. All right, I'm gonna check.
You can check. The machine does a mix of checking and betting. What would you do here?
I'm going to bet.
You could. That's not so bad. I would have probably check raised because it doesn't look like you have a 4 or anything like that.
Now I'm in a pickle. And I jam, or I'm just gonna check and see what he does, and then
You can bluff there. You can bluff there. He has a lot of things he calls a turn with. He doesn't have to have a straight, and
Check.
you kind of have a good hand to. Wow, that was a horrible check by him. That his check was terrible. He probably wouldn't have folded if you bet though.
Yeah.
He has kind of a rare hand. Yeah. So you could have followed through there, especially with your size. He probably does have, especially with your size pre-flop. He probably does have like a lot of high card plus diamond type things. He can have like a ace 5 or ace 7, something like that, I guess. He can have that hand too. He could have 9-8, I guess. He could have your hand also. He has 2 combos of your hand that fold. Did you 3-bet 3-4 suited? It's not a good 3-bet hand.
I did.
It's not a good 3-bet hand. Now you're in a situation. It's not good enough to 3-bet, and it's not good enough to play without the antes. I would not have defended. Honestly.
It's gonna get there, Dan.
All right, sure.
It's gonna get there.
Tell me, what are you gonna do now? Okay, actually, I do like the play now because the ace is a terrible card for him, and you have to bet, and you have actually one of your best bluffs possible.
Yes.
Boom. Okay. All right.
Got
There we
there.
go. You should show it. You show it and say something about Cowboys or something.
That's a Texas one.
That's the Texas play. That's definitely Texas. Yeah, but basically with these no antes, you have to play so tight. The structure's so stupid. I don't know why they even spread it. It just makes me kind of mad that they spread it because it's like tight and not fun, and encourages nitty play, encourages bot play. It's just stupid, honestly. Like, why? Just why?
Hi guys, I'm Dan Cates, and you may know me from poker as Jungleman. And now I'd like to give you the keys to that success so that you can have success in those games as well, and in fact win the game of life. And that begins with freedom.
And you want to have the community to help you to get there. Join the Jungleverse now. We've got many of the tools and many of the links towards the best stuff that's out there in the poker market, and I'm committed to helping you guys become real champions of the game and make your dreams come true. That's my goal for you all. Join here. I'm helping us all work together to make a better future for everyone.
Dude, like, you can just win with this hand, first of all. And he can do that, which happens sometimes. And second of all, if you're going to bet the size, you should bet smaller. It's the size you're going to bet's like 40% pot.
I think he's on tilt. Oh, maybe he's got something good. I'm gonna fold him.
I actually don't know what he has there. I think he might have like queens or something. But your hand's actually good enough to call for sure the flop. 2-3 suited is very Texan. That I don't think that's in your pre-flop charts.
That is not in my.
Maybe we need to check.
Especially not under the gun.
This is super Texas.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, play like this. You'll get into those Texan games, no problem. Like
But so here's my thought behind the psychology of this. You know, this is a tight field, right? And I nailed the flop, but this is a tight field. I shouldn't open anything except for a very big range under the gun.
I don't think they're that tight, dude. Dude, don't. Oh my.
Don't check.
You do what you want. You do.
I want him to get something here. I got the nuts.
You want him to check raise you because he has more threes in his range than you do. And if he check raises you, you're in deep shit because you can't call him down almost unless you have like a set of jacks. But the thing is that most people don't do that. They could really put loads of pressure on you and you have a problem. But it's not so bad. It's just it's not really great against a lot of decent players. You want to just bet there. Not to mention, if you like raise and bet the river, you should actually take lines like that as bluffs and take them with aces. Because if you have aces, then you want them to hit their overcards, and it's a little bit harder for them to have stuff, etc. It's a little bit different with that hand, but there's less implied odds because if they check raise and blast off, then aces is still bluff catcher, right? So this is the kind of stuff you need to think about when you're playing more advanced players. So if you want to take that line, usually it's better with aces. It's not usually better with 3x, but okay, in really rare cases it can be.
All right, so he's been leading pre-flop, leading the flop. He's got a big pocket pair.
With the 2-3 suited, he if the field was really tight, it could be plus EV, I guess. Or like really tight, I'm talking. I might play it for action purposes. Actually, it's an action play. It's more like if people are getting down and dirty, you play it. You should have opened 9 and offsuit on the button.
8-9.
Yeah, on the button.
I'm gonna fold. He had the nuts on that.
All right. Well, you should show this video to other people. You're gonna need loads of action. They get invited to things. Then you just have to beat them somehow.
Yeah, the bet lines is something I definitely want to learn more about. You know, I only see that in a 2-5 game. I don't see it in the 1-2 is just like they just grab chips and throw it out there. There's no thought. I mean, it's from one side, it makes it you know, with the education that I do have, it makes it pretty easy to you know, play and be profitable. But there's a big gap between the 1-2 and the 2-5 because the 2-5 actually knows what they're doing.
Well, I will agree that I'm sure that they look like they know what they're doing.
They look like they know what they're doing. Yeah, comparatively. Well,
I mean,
I'd
if
say
I
the
play
big
the two,
difference is there's no limping in the 2-5 game, and so it plays like this. That's 3-bet, 4-bet. You know, there's 2 to 3 people max going to the flop.
really,
Yeah.
that's kind of lame.
The 1-2 game though, it's like one person raises and it's calls all the way around the table, unless they've got aces, and then you just know.
Well, that's good information. I didn't know that. You're making like some correct, difficult pre-flop spots. I think you're playing 8-6 suited correctly. You're not supposed to play it under the gun. You
Yeah,
can,
I play
I think you can play it in the hijack. I actually should double check. I play in the hijack.
that
It's not
normally.
like a, huh?
Normally, Dan, if you weren't on the call, I would have played it.
Yeah. Well, you pick like ACR is notorious for not having great games. All right, well, let's look at some of their stats. Is your stats filtered for this type of game? Wait, what? What just happened here? Did you not see the 3-bet?
I did.
Dude.
What?
Dude.
I should have folded the Jack Queen from the 3-bet.
Yeah, you should have. It's a Texan call.
Yeah.
It's a Texan call. All right, what do you do now?
Well, it went check, check. So I'm going to bet.
Good. Yeah, there we go. That's a good bet. It looks like you have like pocket jacks or like pocket tens or maybe a set of eights.
And
All
we got a
right.
call.
What do you think?
Well, what do we got here? Hold on.
It looks like someone cold called behind you, by the way, with the tens.
Yeah, I'm going to fold because there's probably aces and kings. That's a tight fold. I'm just going to jam.
I think it's good.
Dun, dun, dun.
I don't know what this guy has.
We'll find
You
out.
should open the queen at offsuit. The tens on the other table is real dicey.
Oh, we got a fold.
Wow. Yeah, whenever you make these crazy plays, that it seems to work somehow.
Queen 8 offsuit open. Well, just
On the button, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Not on the cutoff. You're missing. You're too tight in a couple spots. It says you're playing crazy. It says everyone's very tight. Yeah, it is kind of a tight table. That's too small of a 3-bet. In a tournament, it wouldn't have been.
He's on a flush draw, is my gut. And
I wouldn't. The pocket sixes, when you're in position, you bet. You make it 3x usually, or well, you're supposed to make it 3x. When you're out of position, you make it bigger.
okay. Oop. I want to see a flop. Let's see what he's
King
got.
2 clubs. That's too loose.
It's too loose. If they're very tight, you can do it, but remember, there's no antes.
I would have bet that personally.
Bet the flop.
Yeah. You have a big range advantage in that spot. They're making some subtle mistakes with their sizings. Yeah, I would have raised him with King 2 also. Looks like this guy's... He might have misclicked. I thought he's a pro.
The stats are tight. I mean, everyone's table stats are much tighter than mine.
Let's wrap things up soon. But yeah, you should check those preflop charts. You don't know the preflop totally well. I can tell you that.
Call, 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 call.
And then you need to start thinking about how your range plays against theirs. The way you do that is you think about the hands that they play. You think about the hands that you play. You don't lead out King 9 into two people here.
They both flat called on that. They didn't have anything.
They cannot like the Jack 9 suited, man.
There's no
Or
way.
Jack 9 offsuit.
There's no way.
Yeah, dude. Your hand's not too good. You can get raised.
Yeah. Well, I think that I get raised and I fold.
This is kind of what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is too loose with ace 2 suited on the small blind. You would, if there were antes, you could limp it though. Or if the blinds are really tight, I guess, but we're not there yet. Yeah, so Queen Jack 10. This is what I'm talking about. All right, Queen Jack 10. The small blind cold call is a very tight range. All right, first, all right, also.
I love Jack 9. This is one of my favorite hands.
Well, how do you love it now? And fold the king at offsuit on the cutoff. What the? It's not in the charts. I don't know where you're getting these charts in Texas or wherever.
Let's see the
Oh
flop.
my god, dude!
There we go. He nailed the flop. That's why. Check it. I'm gonna check.
You can still have king jack suited or whatever.
He doesn't. He's got ace king.
He really owns you if he has king jack suited.
No, he's got ace king.
Why you check raise so big, man? You check raise so big.
I played against this guy before. If he's got king jack, then he'll jam. He doesn't.
If he has king jack, you're
He doesn't.
just chill for a second. Look, you want to check raise small first of all, because you want to get value from like ace king highs in this case, and if you are bluffing, you generally do it small.
Okay.
I think. What was I saying? Okay, so on king queen 10, when the button opens and the small blind cold calls, and you overcall, your range is really weak because you would have 3-bet a lot of good things. You would have 3-bet 3 queens. You would have 3-bet 3 10s. You would have 3-bet ace jack suited. Maybe you would have 3-bet jack 9 offsuit. I don't know. Jack 9 suited. But the small blind is really strong there, actually. The small blind can have like ace jack, king queen, king jack, all kinds of stuff. So you do not want to lead into the small blind because he's just going to lead him. He should actually lead himself sometimes. But first of all, when he doesn't lead, he actually misses value. And the button has quite some strong hands too, because they have like, half their hands. They still have the nutted hands, like sets of queens or whatever. So in that situation, because of that dynamic, you just you can't really lead out. It doesn't make much sense. Not to mention, like you want to ideally, it's just not going to work for your overall plan. I mean, we have to get to this kind of level relatively soon of thinking, and you have to be thinking, okay, with your bets, etc., how does it fit into your overall plan against them? Right. So you have to like see the big picture. That's where that's at.
Makes sense. Okay.
So it's kind of like when you're playing against them, you have to think to yourself, okay, what's their plan and how are you going to exploit them, and how are you going to play like, up to 6 different kinds of hands that you have. But it's not that complicated really, because a lot of hands play very similarly anyway.
All right. King jack. We have a 3-bet. I want a flat call. I probably should fold though.
You probably should open 8-5 suited. And you probably should definitely fold king jack offsuit. You know, the guy is isn't even supposed to 3-bet king jack offsuit there. He's supposed to 3-bet like minimum king queen sometimes, and then 3-bet like pocket pairs, ace 5 suited
Big
type
pocket
stuff, ace
pairs.
6 suited, like some suited connectors.
His thing is okay. So his 3-bet, it's not 10, right? Or 11. So come
Oh
on.
my god, dude! What the?
I'm gonna check.
Yeah, but you're in the big blind. That's the problem, and it's early position. It's like hijack versus cutoff. Okay, just think for a second here. What else does he have? God,
He had nothing. He had nothing. He had queens or jack or something.
He did not have queens or jacks. He would have called you. He had nothing. You're right. He thinks you have queens or jacks. He thinks you have like nines or something is what he thinks.
7 deuce.
So by the way, because he thinks you have pocket nines, okay, this is okay because of 7 deuce. Fine, I'll approve of it. Then it's okay. Sometimes.
because he thinks you have pocket nines, etc. That means that a cold call range is going to work a bit because people aren't going to mess with you too much. That being said, it's pretty easy actually to play against someone who has pocket nines and like king queen suited all the time. People could think of like king queen suited or ace queen or whatever, but think about it. If like you could put someone on pocket nines, king queen suited, etc., you can really destroy them because it's so obvious what they have a lot of the time.
Right.
You need to start thinking about stuff like that. But that's usually what people have. They have like a pocket pair or like whatever, and they're doing something really not that clever, and you can just f them up really simply. This is where I'm trying to get you at. When they do your exact play, the cold call play, but it works. The play that you're doing does work okay with a balanced range against a lot of people. Okay, so first of all, your sizing is okay. We have to establish something. So it's this is shown in the solver, by the way, but when you're in position in a cash game, it's usually 3x. When you're around 3x is the 3-bet size. This size is okay, but not a fantastic hand for it, whatever. When you're out of position, it's a lot bigger because they have a positional advantage, etc. All right, so you spiced it up on the turn. You spiced it up this hand with the jack 9. I would have played it a little different, but whatever. Now what are you gonna do?
Well, I think he's got the I think he's got the 9. So
Oh, what does he have? First of all,
he had
is
queen
queen 9.
queen 9, yeah.
Um, He's a pretty big dog to have a 9 because you have a 9, first of all. That blocks quite a few 9s. Second of all, I think you can call there with king 7 suited or 3-bet. I would have called personally. Second of all, yeah, he can have a 9. He probably had like pocket 8s a lot there or something. Maybe he doesn't know what to do there.
Or
I would have just checked the turn and possibly called a river bet depending on what the river is, because that's again what I'm talking about. You want to play hands in ways that counter what they're doing, or they counter their overall strategy.
yeah, I thought maybe he had 9-10 because he was fast to respond on the 10. I bet the flop, bet the turn, and so I thought maybe he had 9-10.
Well, 9-10's a full house, so he probably is going to take a little bit longer with that. All right, what are you going to do here?
I'm gonna raise.
You need to make it a little bigger, but raise is okay. Raise is okay. You need to make it a little bigger. Like all these sizes are on the preflop charts or GTO Wizard or whatever. For now, just follow the sizings in the preflop charts. That's fine enough. They're not that complicated.
Oh,
Damn it! Oh, what the? Every time you do something that I don't approve of,
You always like get there.
hold on. We're gonna do this,
That's
and
pretty dude.
we're just gonna go all in.
Dude.
Bang.
Wow, you're apparently a genius with this pocket tens play. Well, he's not going to fold ace queen to jam. I can tell you that on that spot. Um, first of all, two things. Dude is first of all. That's the first thing I gotta say, dude. And second of all, Jack 10 offsuit is a fold against an early position open. You can call it sometimes when there's a big ante or a decent size ante. Okay, Queen 5 offsuit is also a fold on the button. Come on, man. You need to see the charts some more. You need to check out some charts. This third of all, when you do 4-bet, you need to bet a small size on ace high boards because they either have nothing or they have you crushed.
If you happen to play some live poker, you got to know what the rake is. You got to know what realistic win rates are. You got to know this kind of stuff. Speaking of which, on the Jungleverse, we provide many resources to help many of you up-and-coming players in order to avoid many pitfalls that many people play. Also to avoid getting cheating, we provide some details of what to look out for. We have a map of what the best online sites are to play at and why, and what kind of games you're looking for. If you want to try your luck and try to strike it rich, playing tournaments, why not? The math's a bit against you. We have the resources for that too.
You're either way ahead or way behind. That's why. You could have bet the Queen 5, by the way, on the river. I don't know if you did. It looked like you didn't. It looks like you missed value there. That you'll get more used to. That's easy. That's a bit of an easy fix. The little bit harder of a fix is you need to shift big things. You need to shift towards the mindset of how does your range play against their range. That's another thing. That's probably the biggest thing you need to work on. The easiest thing for you to work on is check out those pre-flop charts and see what you're doing. You can have a separate Texas chart. You can have a Texas chart, okay? And then when things go down in Texas, it's time to play Texas style.
I don't want to flat call that.
What the dude? Dude.
We're gonna get there. Watch.
You already got there. You already flopped top pair, dude. That's getting there. Flopping top pair on an 8 high board is getting there.
Okay. The king I don't love though. Oh, he's got a king.
Well, you don't want to bet where if they call you, they have a better hand than you. That's not a good situation. Think about it. That's not good.
Oh,
No, it's ace 3. He didn't believe you and you got value. It actually worked out great.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a possibility. That sometimes happens. You can kind of take such lines. Like I guess that could work. I wouldn't recommend it though, because he should f you up on the river.
Yeah. There's really 2 high cards.
He can like overbet you on the river. He can like jam all in on the river and you're so screwed. If unless you do it in a sort of a smart way. But that's a little bit advanced. What you are happening to do is explore some lines that work kind of okay, or could work if we delve a little deeper into them. I can tell you the machine does not like to like lead there. The machine basically thinks how I think, in that it just does range versus range and says, "Oh, well, a king came. They've just got a king a lot. I'm going to check because my range is way weaker than theirs on this king turn, and I just got to check and check raise or whatever." That's basically what the machine thinks.
But from just like a human experience standpoint, if everyone's playing via the machine, taking more creative lines, doesn't that produce, a ton of variables?
That not if they're playing the machine, because if they're playing really the machine, because the machine is unbeatable. The machine plays perfect, right? So what the machine's going to do, if it knows roughly what you do, it's going to take king 10 when you check the river, and it's going to overbet jam all in. That's their counter against what you're doing. Like that's what I would do, but no one does that, so it happens to be okay. They bet like normal size or whatever. It's kind of hard to know that you're doing that too, but they can bet really big when you check to them. and you're right, because that's the problem with your strategy. The thing is that, yeah, they're not playing like that. Okay, we get that. We're not playing its top players, but we are putting money in like not in a great spot. Whereas you can save money in some spots when you check with 8-7 offsuit, because what can happen is like there's a bet and a call. Now you know you're beat, right? If like the early position bets and mid position calls, you know you're beat. Yeah, you're too loose pre-flop, man. Ace 5 offsuit's also a fold. 10-2 suit is definitely a fold. Um, Again, in loose games, very loose games, you could get away with this, but in this game, no, you can't. Looks like Mr. Kavox is a fish. Usually, a telltale sign is if they don't reload. That's what you want to see. If they auto reload, that's kind of a sharky sign, actually. It's not universal though. It takes like 5 minutes to set that up.
Oof.
Okay, so this is one of those situations where your hand kind of blows, and
I'm just gonna take a stab though.
we need to get you seeing some sims, man. You need to work on your. So this spot doesn't work like that. I'm telling you.
I mean, he's either got a heart or he doesn't have a heart though. If he's got a heart, then I get off for 4 big blinds.
That's not true. That spot takes a longer explanation, actually. That's how people used to think, but then they look at the sims, they realize, oh no, that's not true. And then some people got it right anyway. But yeah, that's not true. Basically, so he can have some hearts. He can have a lot of bad hearts. So they all have to fold against a larger size, and then he can have pair and straight draw. He has some of those, but he also has lots of like pair X as that's really not great shape. He's got like ace 7 or ace 9. This is a fair bit too. It's a bit more fluid than it looks.
You're my lucky charm, Dan. I'm winning.
Yeah, the poker gods seem to find it hilarious whenever I tell you something's bad and you just make trips. And you just take like max value. Your value lines aren't so bad. The problem is that if someone knows what you're doing, you're screwed because they can just fold to you. You can open ace 3, don't fold that. I guess I'm supposed to let you fold it on accident if you're going to fold it.
No, I would have played that. Queen 9 was just interesting. I would jam on it.
Okay, so 8-6 is okay. A lot of his hands are not going to be able to call. You can rep a lot of stuff.
The last time we did this, when you said, and I think it was maybe the last time we did one of these coaching calls, and you said if it goes check, that the turn is a great spot to bet because it typically means they've got air. So I've been using that a lot, and I think that's been like one of the biggest just easy ways to win the pot.
Yeah, it works. It works like clockwork. I mean, a big reason is actually there's a couple of reasons why it works. So one reason is because yes, a lot of the better hands are going to bet usually, but also a big reason is you probably had the advantage in the first place. Like if you're in that case, I think you're a cutoff versus big blind. This is what I'm talking about, dude. You need to think about your range versus range, cutoff versus big blind. You have a big advantage. Like the big blind has loads of crap that's forced to not be able to do anything with, right? That's an important point. So when you bet on the flop, he's going to fold a lot. But if you bet on the turn, when it checks you, he's going to fold a lot. But also when you bet on the flop or bet at any point, he's going to fold a lot. It just works really well on the turn because usually people are quite disbalanced, that sort of thing. With pocket twos, you're actually supposed to bet 100% on this flop, and you could have definitely barreled that turn. Actually, it's one of those spots where your range just crushes theirs, and there's not a whole lot they can do about it. Yeah, so your sizes are a little bit off. With ace king, you need to pick a smaller size. 3/4 pot is just basically too big. But usually the sizes don't change too much between. You do use 3/4 pot, but it's a little subtle win. But it's not on Jack 3-4. It's on like Queen Jack X or 10-9X type things. The machine likes 40% or so on those boards.
Okay.
The answer for why is quite complicated. All right, we'll do one more round. It's fun to watch you play, though. You come up with some stuff. Yeah, the pocket tens jam before when he had ace queen was not the standard play for sure. But to be fair, it's like you're making it too big again with Jack 10 offsuit. Queen 2 is a fold.
Against blind?
Well, Jack 10 offsuit, first of all, you're making it too big, and second of all, you should fold it. Because there's no antes. If there is an ante, you could do this. It's sort of justifiable. With no antes, it's too loose, man. The bottom line is they're just going to have it too much, and these guys are already quite tight. Right? I'm seeing that this guy plays 3% of hands, which means that he's going to have it just too much.
There's that jam again. What do you think he's got? Ace king. Oh, I'm so tempted to call. I'm gonna fold.
Wow, I'm surprised you folded. I don't know if I would have folded there.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, these guys have some. What did he show?
Nothing. He didn't show.
I thought he showed.
No, the flop was Jack Queen 8.
These guys can shove some dumb stuff. I don't think they shove like the big hands, like Jack's
Yeah,
plus.
but I mean, he's clearly. I'd imagine he's a wreck. He hasn't reloaded, and I think he's just trying to double up. So
yeah, he looks like a recreational player. Usually, these guys have dumb things a lot.
yeah. I'm not gonna call that.
All right, we'll do one more. Well, the good news is the table people seem to be a little intimidated about Texas over here. It says that you're playing insane, by the way. It says that you're playing really nuts.
42 VPIP.
Yeah, I mean, you are running hot in 3-bet pots, just so you know. Having trips every 3-bet pot is pretty lucky in Smith.
We're gonna flat call this. Let me check. I'm gonna raise him.
Actually, this isn't that bad of a play. Okay, all right. You should think about it a little bit more. What you're missing totally is you need to think about what are your bluffs in the spot? What does he have? That should be going through your head right now when you turn trip fours. Like, what if he has you beat? Like, that kind of thing.
I think with the board pairing, the advantage is that I could have a full house. I could add jacks.
Not really, to be honest. It's very hard to have a full house there. And most people don't check raise 2-pair in that spot because the 2-pair is not that good of a hand there. You can have 4x, though, which is what you had. Yeah, your preflop's still too loose, but you're getting there. You're getting there with the preflop.
I think that's part of the, it's like when you get rewarded for bad behavior.
Well, that's a dangerous thing because then you'll keep doing bad things and lose money.
Yeah, it's true.
And until Jungleman comes along and says, "Nope, don't do that." Look, the table broke around you. That's actually a good sign. It's like thinking, God, I don't want to mess with Fitbeard.
I love it. Cool. That's a win.
One thing I would also do that we didn't really talk about, you could try some bluffs against these guys when they have weak hands, because I get the feeling that they are going to fold, actually. Looks like they're trying, and they're making the kinds of mistakes that you're making, actually, which is they don't really know what to do with their range against range and play really strong strategies that are hard to beat against that. That's where you got to get to, is creating strategies where it's just hard to deal with what you're doing. Probably jiu-jitsu is a good metaphor for this, because in jiu-jitsu you have to be positioned in a way that you deal with everything, right? Or deal with everything in smart ways. It's the same thing in poker.
Sure.
So you know what to do if they go, if they try to go for a takedown or whatever it is. We'll stop here, by the way.
Okay.
And in this case, you basically have you have to have a balanced range where you're smart in all the spots, I think, in martial arts, where you can do good things and don't get trapped. And in poker, it's that kind of way too. I need to know more about martial arts, but you want to be able to have a defense against everything that they do, or in particular, actually against weaker players, what you want to do is leave yourself open in a lot of spots where they don't take advantage, and you just kind of blast them in a lot of spots where you can. That's generally what I do until I see that people can have a little teeth. You know what I mean? But it's still important to see how your range plays against their range. That's important for getting value. It's important for bluffing them. It's important for not letting them bluff you at some point if they're going to do that. It's important for not value cutting yourself, etc. But that's gonna be the level to get you at. Anyway,
Texas is victory for down south, Texas, and Fitbeard. Good job.
Thanks,
You
man.
improved.
Great tape, man.